sends me a message, hey, you're gonna shoot this waitress on Thursday. And I'm like, oh, great. I go get the COVID test. That all happens. I asked for the last revision of the script, going through it. There's a waitress and it says, main character, have a conversation. Waitress comes in. That's what it said. No lines. And I'm like, like, am I going to be an extra paid for a supporting? And I was like, that's fine. That's cool. Show up to set. I email her. She's like, oh, it'll be there. The sides will be there. All right. I'm like, it's one line. It's fine. You can serve eggs to people. It's fine. Show up. Go to my trailer. Sides. Nothing. I'm like, okay, cool. Go through wardrobe. Go through makeup. Still nothing. I go to set. The director's like, oh. He's writing. The seat. And he's like, I printed it out and I forgot it. And I'm like, okay. It's 5 lines. He writes out a copy for me, for the other 2 lead actors who are working. They're working actors. They're not like, people that are still trying to rise up like myself. They're working actors. We sit down, we talk it out. I go outside for like 40 minutes and like memorize these lines. I am dying inside. And I'm having this conversation that I've never had that's like, you're so nervous, do you really want to do this? And I was having that conversation that you have about like self-sabotage, like how we talk about all the time. And I'm like, you are this person right now, who are you self-sabotaging? And I'm like, I literally, Anthony is like coming up in my mind the whole time because I'm like, grab the fear. I'm like, telling myself, grab the fear right here, grab it, put it into it. Like, I am having this moment and I go in and, if you don't get to act with the cues and all the things all the time, then that can become like, I'm like, am I hitting my mark? Am I doing all these things? And it ended up being fine. We only got like 2 or 3 takes. And of course, at the end of it, I'm like, is that because I'm so terrible? They're like, fuck it. She's never gonna get it. But at the end, he emailed me a couple days later and was like, you stayed on top of your shit the whole time. Like, kudos to you. And so, yeah, what I took from it at the end of it was like, I had that roller coaster of emotions where I did learn so much along the way, but also just telling myself like, this probably could have went any better than I could have imagined it, because I probably got way more lines than I thought. I didn't even have to audition. I went in, got something extra for my reel, and I'm happy, but it took me wading through all those emotions that you guys have all been a part of from start to finish. So there you have it.
Yay. Well, see, I just want to say one last thing and we'll get started. But thank you for sharing that awesome story. And that's what it is to be a working actor, right? Like, things are going to be changing all the time. You may not even have a script, right? But also the part that I thought was funny but also truthful is you had emailed me and you're like, oh my God, I was so nervous, and the nerves made me think, am I even capable of doing this? Do I even have the skill set because I'm nervous? And I said, being nervous about something doesn't mean you suck or you're not talented or you cannot do it. It just means you care. Just means you care. Just means that you're showing up with integrity and like professionalism, that you want to do a good job. In this case, it was through somebody who you knew who got you the job, which can be even more stressful because you don't want to like disappoint them or fuck up their project, right? That's what we think, and that can compound the stress. But I think it's an amazing thing. Is like, I don't think the arts or anything that we care about is meant to be devoid of nerves or excitement or whatever we want to call it. It just means we're invested in it. So I think actually if you don't have feelings around it, then there's something wrong. Then you're not putting yourself on the line. You know what I mean? So it's a great reminder. And you probably realize, because you don't have to mention the famous actress who you were playing ball with, but you probably realize like, oh, okay, I was playing ball with them. I was right there with them. I can do it. Yeah. Okay, bravo.